Sup, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold, and a lot of you guys are probably wondering where I've been. And the truth is that nobody guessed it. I'm not in jail, and I don't have cancer. I didn't really tell anyone. I only told a few friends, and I only really told my parents whenever I felt that I had to. Until today. Today, I'm going to tell you guys a story of where I've been until now, really. This is about 7 years. 7 or 8, I would say. And I do apologize if this is a little bit too long of a video, if I ramble on, if there are pauses, if I forget what I'm saying, if I have to go back and correct something, because I've never told this story in its entirety until now. So I think that the best place to start would be in about 2009. I graduated from high school semi-recently at that point, and I was in community college, and I was in a design class, Photoshop class. And I took a break. I left class to get like a bag of Cheetos, hot Cheetos actually. And I bit down into one of those Cheetos, and I heard a crack or like a break. I didn't really know what it was, but with like the intensity of how like loud it was and how bad it sounded, I knew it was something. So I went into the bathroom. I left again. I was like very, very worried and upset. And so I went into the bathroom and I looked at my mouth, and I realized that in biting down that Cheeto, it had broke one of my fillings out. And at this point, I pretty much had no money. My mom didn't have a job. I didn't have a job. So there was no real money to fix this, and this will have gone on, this went on from that point until the point where I was about 23 or 24, okay? And intermittently I had, small jobs, but for the most part it was nothing really too impressive. So basically that was the first one, and throughout the next 7 years, I was not able to afford dental care. And I was not able to afford really any sort of medical care whatsoever. And a lot of my teeth fell out. That's what happened. That's legit what fucking happened. And really, they didn't fall out. None of them actually fell out. What really happened, and I will again correct myself, is that most of the fillings that I had came out and I didn't have the money to put them back in. I didn't have the money to go to the dentist and get it done. I had a choice at that point. And again, this is about 7 years ago. Not 7 years ago. It was about 4 or 5 years ago, I would say. I had a choice at that point to where I could have taken the money that I had from financial aid, and I could have taken that money and gone to the dentist and gotten everything fixed. Or I could have taken that money and paid for the house that I'm living in right now. At that point, as I said, my mom didn't have a job, and she also had no prospects of getting a job. And as you can see, where I am, you can see what decision I made. And the reason that I made that decision is because of today. It's because of today. I knew that today would come. And the reason that I actually stopped doing full face cam videos, the reason that I would cover my mouth whenever I'd smile or laugh on my streams, and the reason that I don't really smile or anything like that in my videos, is because it got to the point to where if I did, it would show you guys that I was missing teeth. And that was the case for the better part of a decade. Recently, I have been able to go to the dentist, get teeth fixed, and as you can see, this is a full face cam video. I finally, and the reason that I waited until now, is very simple. I don't like to tell people what I'm going to do. I like to tell people what I've done. And I am not done with getting this done. I'm not even fucking close. But I'm on the path. And that's more than I could have said for the past 5 years. And the reason, every break that I've ever had to take from YouTube, it wasn't because I was hungover. I don't drink. It wasn't because I was arrested. I didn't really break any crimes. I wasn't in jail or anything. It's because I had really, really bad toothaches. Every day for the past 4 or 5 years, I've had to take painkillers every night to where I'm not in agonizing pain. And that is still not over, but it will be. And I knew that this day would come. And that's why 6 or 7 years ago, I made a decision to take the money and pay for the house and help take care of my mom and do all of that. Because I don't really like to bet. I don't really like to bet on anything. But I don't like to bet on anything that I don't know will come through. And that's why I bet on myself. I got everything pretty much taken care of at this point, and what isn't taken care of will be. So I wanted to make this video, and whenever I was sitting there, because they took out like 3 teeth or something like that already rotted out basically last week, which is why I haven't actually been making videos, is because I've been like laying down and recovering, is I thought about making this video, and I didn't really know if I should or not, what would this really change people's perception of me. And ultimately, I don't really care what people think in certain aspects, right? Like, people think that I'm living in my attic in my mom's house. The truth is that I pay the mortgage, I pay the electricity, I pay for basically everything in the house, and I have for quite a while. I don't really care if people think that, because it's not true. I don't care if people think that I'm balding, because that is true, unfortunately. I don't care if people think that I look like an anorexic ghost. That's debatable. And there are a lot of things that I don't really care about. But I could never really see myself as somebody who was missing teeth. I never would want people to connect those two things with me. It's just not who I felt that I was. And that's why, as I said, I stopped doing the full face cam videos. I don't smile, really. And I haven't, at least. I just did, I guess. I'm not very used to it. Sorry, I do have to say that for a while here, whenever I smile, it's going to look like I have to return some videotapes, because it's not very, I've spent so long training myself not to do it, it's going to be weird doing it again. And, I stopped doing that. I stopped covering my mouth whenever I laugh. All of those things are intentional, or they were. So that's where I've been. And, I don't really, the reason that I made this video, the reason I'm making this video, is because I know that there are a lot of people out there who are like me. And I think that doing it and making it and showing people that there's a path out, and that there's some end to the suffering and to the pain, literally, and to the sadness, is something that I wanted to share. Even if people feel like I'm less of a person, well, literally, but I don't care. I think that making sure those people know that is more important than anything else. And that's why I made this video. Now, talked about where I've been, where we're going to go. Another thing, the real reason, not because of the bank account, the real reason why I never applied for a Twitch partnership was because of this. I knew this would happen. At some point, I knew that the pain would get too bad and I would have to do something. And I didn't want to have to take a huge chunk of time off while I was partnered with Twitch. I didn't feel that that would be right to the people who would subscribe to my channel. As I said, I'm not done, so it's not going to happen right away, but it's on the way. The videos will continue, probably in a couple of days, and streaming will resume tonight. I will continue streaming tonight. Now, there will be breaks. That's why I would if it was like something else, I would go through it, but I can't, I can't talk a lot of times if they do dental work, right? So that's the real reason. I will have to take breaks. There are more appointments on the way, but the streaming will resume, and so will the videos. I always use the phrase, never stop going big dick, and that's exactly what I intend to do. I'd like to thank everybody that's been with me, if it's been for a few days or a few years. I really appreciate it. I really do. and I'm going to do my best not to let you down. I think it's important that you guys know who I really am. And that's it. So, again, thank you very, very much. And we will continue as we always have.